Great. The recording has started, so we are ready to start. Welcome again to all participants to this Partner Finding Fair organized in the framework of the Twinning Back to School campaign 2024. The Partner Finding Fair of today, which is one of the 4 that will take place throughout October, is dedicated to projects in primary education, so in the age category 7 until 11 years old. As you know, the Back to School campaign is ongoing. You probably already engaged with the content and our post. Which activities can you explore throughout the month with the Back to School campaign? Resources on the annual theme 2024-2025, on the annual theme Citizenship Education, Celebrating What Unites Us, activities to improve the quality of your projects and find suitable partner, and this is actually one of these activities, and many other webinars and online events. All this information and materials are available in the annual theme group that my colleague Marta already posted in the chat. So please check the link, and if you're not a member yet, take part in the annual theme group because you will discover many activities and resources on the annual theme. Just to refresh the memory, probably you already read the article that presents our annual theme 2024-2025. The 3 key pillars that compose the theme are active citizenship, developing critical thinking, and learning about the European Union and its values. As I anticipated at the beginning, this is the first partner finding fair happening in the context of the campaign, but there are more to come, each one dedicated to a different age category. So the other 3 appointments are the 15th of October for pre-primary, the 16th for secondary, and then the final partner finding fair dedicated to upper secondary and VET projects. Here we wanted to give you a clue about some of the activities that are inside the annual theme group and that are particularly tailored for eTwinners who are starting a project and are seeking for a suitable partner. This is one of the pages of the group that lists some tips for eTwinners to run successful eTwinning projects. So I invite you to join the group and to check this page and many more that help you finding inspiration and best practice for your projects. One of these pages is also an interactive newspaper that is displayed in our annual theme group, and that give you tips about how to run a project, how to find partner, how to focus on the annual theme in your project. And as you can see, there are different articles that compose the newspaper, each one dedicated to different tips for your project. Going ahead, I invite you, while you take part in the Partner Finding Fair, to give your testimony and to share your participation on social media using the hashtag eTwinning and EU values, and to spread the word about the campaign, the projects you are hearing about, and any discovery related to the campaign. Now we are ready to listen to our first speaker of the webinar, our first project idea. It will be the project idea of Nicoletta Boff. So before leaving the floor to her, I just remind you another time that the session is recorded and that the recording will be uploaded together with the presentation in the annual theme group. So you will be able to find all this information. And I encourage you throughout the session to use the chat to make questions to our speakers, also to show your interest in participating in the projects described, if you are interested in finding a partner, and interact with us because we will be monitoring the chat and our speakers as well. Nicoletta,
yes.
The floor is all yours. Just remember to let me know when you would like to move ahead with the slides, and I will follow you.
Okay. Hello, I'm Nicoletta. I'm Italian teacher. Sorry for my pronunciations, but I don't speak. I don't have many opportunities to speak English. So I hope I'm clear and you understand me. My project is the people of Europe, and the next. Okay, thank you. My project is simple and would like to clarify the abstract concepts regarding the organization of Europe and one's own country. I thought for step, and the first step is getting to know the institution of Europe and the Charter of Regular Fundamental Rights. Two, I know my state and its basic principles. I compare my state with other European countries, and we will build a final product. Next, thank you. I thought the step and for each step, I thought of a path. For one step, we will study history of Europe, the institution of Europe, and the Europe Charter of Fundamental Rights. The second step, we will study history of my state, in this case, Italian state, the institution of my state, the fundamental principles of my state. And after, there will be meeting with other country or other states, and we will building a game about Europe. Finally, there were building as there will be a satisfaction test and play with the game. Next, please. Thank you. The activity is simple because through the written sources we will discover the history and we will build a map. This point is for the first step, and about the second step, the history of my state, we will a speech or PowerPoint or present to other schools. The three step, we will meet with other school and everyone will present their country. With the information, the child will build a quiz game. Finally, play the game. It's very simple. So the aim of this project is to train responsibilities and active citizens by promoting full and conscious participation in the civic, cultural, and social life of communities. And the student will know the rules, rights, and duties of my country and other country and the Europe. Is clear or no?
Sorry, Nicoletta, can you repeat the question? Nicoletta?
Yes. So
did you make a question?
This is my project. Simple, very simple, and I hope that it's clear.
Thank you very much. I think you were very detailed in giving an overview of the project. So, and if participants want to know more or have a question for you, I encourage them to use the chat, as we will have some time to address them at the end of the session. So this was the project presented by Nicoletta. Here you can see her contact details, which will also be available in the annual thing group, because this presentation will be uploaded there. I see some hand raised. I encourage you to use the chat, as this is the way you can communicate with us your questions. So please feel free to use this tool throughout the session, and we'll be happy to read you and to try to answer. Our speakers will. And Nicoletta, then if that was all for your project, I would continue with the second project idea of today, which is Miracle. And the project will be described by Nancy Pirini. So Nancy, the floor is yours. Just remember to tell me when you want to move ahead with the slides.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Alessia. So nice meeting you all online, and I hope that this will be only the start of a future cooperation with the opportunity of the presentation of our projects. Next. So the Miracle Project is all about sustainable development, about tackling climate change and the climate crisis. And what we are doing in the Miracle project is to try to upskill the teachers by providing them information concerning the science behind climate change. Because very often as teachers, we have found ourselves wanting to include the climate change, the climate crisis agenda in our curricula, but unfortunately, sometimes we do not have the necessary scientific background to support our ideas and our teaching. So the first step in the Miracle Project is to help teachers develop their knowledge concerning the science behind climate change. And then we have another three main axes, which are how to develop digital comics, because the comics are our main vehicle in this project, and then how to augment images, 3D objects in our developed comics. And the third pillar of the project is how to tackle disinformation, misinformation, and fake news concerning climate change and the climate crisis. I think that as I was explaining what's the main pillars of the Miracle Project, you had the opportunity to read the objectives, and we can go on with the next slide. So there will be two main activities in our suggested project. The first one is the Miracle MOOC, which is an interdisciplinary course designed for teachers, offering 5 comprehensive modules on the science of climate change, digital comic creation, augmented reality for comics, and addressing fake news and misinformation related to climate issues. It also serves as a preparative course for the co-creation of augmented comics, equipping education with the skills and knowledge needed to engage in innovative learning experiences. The MOOC includes a rich collection of lesson plans, teaching resources, and open educational resources, and is available in English, Croatian, Greek, Portuguese, and Spanish. The other main activity of the project is the Miracle Augmented Classroom, which is a dynamic digital learning environment where teachers and pupils collaborate to co-create comics and then bring them to life through augmented reality. This innovative platform empowers users to explore climate change and other key topics in engaging, interactive ways, enhancing creativity and learning through digital tools and immersive experiences. Next, please. So we think that our students nowadays are facing eco-anxiety and are very much concerned about the future of the planet. Today, for example, the US is in danger because of this terrible tornado that they are expecting to hit the West Coast this evening in the early hours of Thursday. So we do understand that our students are exposed to this news and are developing eco-anxiety. So we thought that using comics as a vehicle is the best way to support them, because with the comics they are developing their ideas in a fun and playful way, although still serious, because as I said, it is based on the science about climate change. So thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you very much, Nancy, for describing this project, which seems really interesting, and it actually covers one of the key areas of our annual theme, which is encouraging students in developing critical thinking, giving tools to fight disinformation, to read critically the news. So it's really interesting, and I hope some of our attendees reaches out to you to become partner in this project. And I remind you to use the chat in case you want to ask any question about the project of Nancy, also practical questions.
Yes, and before we go on, I have included in the chat higher above the project ID if people want to find us at the eTwinning platform.
That's great. I can see now the message. So give a look at the project for our attendees and ask us any questions in case you have. In the meanwhile, we can proceed to our third project of the day, which I think also is related to the topic of critical thinking, developing critical thinking. Our speaker is Svitlana. Welcome, Svitlana, and the floor is yours to describe your project idea.
Hello once more, dear colleagues. It's an honor to meet you today. And I'm here just to present my project, Spot and Stop Fraud Through Folk Tales. I work in a school in the west part of Ukraine. It is situated in the big regional center, so there are more than 1,000 students in our school. And we decided that it is very important nowadays just to teach our students to separate wheat from the chaff and be literate in media. But we think that folklore, it's as a source of wisdom, can be a starting point for the project on media literacy. So, next slide. Thank you. As a picture language of the soul, fairy tales can help us to spot some moment of fraud or disinformation, and then we'll be able to compare the situation in our fairy tales with the modern situation in our media. All right, next slide. So, as for objectives of the project, they are following. The first one is, of course, mentioned, develop critical thinking skills and enable students to identify common manipulation tactics and misleading information in folk tales and relate them to modern-day scenarios. Then, as there will be a lot of folk tales from different countries, so this next objective will be enhance cross-cultural understanding and encourage students to compare folk tales and songs from different cultures, recognizing universal themes related to deception and fraud. For example, I know that in Ukrainian fairy tale, a sly fox just manipulates with a group of animals and for her own benefits. And I think that in every culture there are some other characters connected with this theme. Next one is promote creative expression and communication. Of course, we are going to engage students in discussion, various artistic activities like singing, dramatizing parts of fairy tales to creatively interpret and convey anti-fraud messages. And the next one is foster digital literacy and peer collaboration. All right, next slide. As for stages of our project, there are 6 of them. The first one is, of course, the organizing of a group of teachers and students. It's introduction and setup, where we are going to get some more information about our schools, about our cultures, about our fairy tales, and decide on the timeline of our project. Then analysis and comparison, creative interpretation, dramatization and visual arts, and of course modern application in digital literacy. And at the end of the project, there will be project reflection, of course. And as for stages, there are some activities that I think that would be just cool to organize within this project. Let's have a look at them. As I think that our project will take up to 6 months, so as our timeline is following. First week, I already mentioned, it is mostly about meeting with teachers and partner schools, introduction of the project to students, and collection and sharing folk tales. Next month is the guided analysis of fraud and manipulation themes in these fairy tales, and possibly group discussion within these folk tales, and creation of comparative charts or infographics. Then next month is mostly we can decide on comic creation, or we can also introduce some expressive reading of parts of fairy tales, especially those parts who are closely connected to fraud and manipulation. Our next stage is short dramatic performances based on folk tales, and possibly even a virtual art gallery. Next slide. As a result of this project, we are going to create a digital fraud busting guides by group of students, and students just should create some possible tips for their peers, how to avoid manipulation and fraud, how to just be media literate and be ready to struggle with this quite challenging situations. And possibly there are also some debate can be organized, like fraud in folk tales and modern world. As for the last stage, it will be mostly about reflection. And of course, preparation for maybe virtual anti-fraud festival with partner school and last meeting. And next slide. Here on this slide, you can see my email, and I am just looking forward to messages, questions, and partners to collaborate with. Thank you. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Svitlana, for presenting your project. It was also very interesting. So if in our participants there's anyone who feels inspired by this project and would like to join the forces with Svetlana, please feel free to reach out to her, to post it in the chat, or again, to check the material afterwards as they will be uploaded. But this is a good moment to interact with us and to make questions to Svetlana, also about the timeline or any practical question that you would like to make. I'm just monitoring the chat. Okay, then there are no questions for now, so I think we can proceed and go ahead with our fourth project of the day, entitled Creative Piano Project. And we have with us Ariel Bidul, who will present her project idea to you all. Ariel,
yeah,
I would pass you the floor. Perfect.
Yeah.
I hope you can see the presentation. Otherwise, I will just move it according to your presentation.
Okay, thank you. I'm a piano teacher in Hungary, in a little village near to Budapest. And my project is about knowing better the music culture of different countries through folk songs. And it's about creativity also. The next. Yeah, thank you. I need 4 teams for this project. And the first team will choose one folk song of their country and send the record of it to the next country, to the next team. And so this new team will learn this song, of course, and create on this song some ostinato. An ostinato, for those who are not musicians, is rhythm with a few notes from the beginning to the end, the same rhythm and the same notes. It's an accompaniment for the melody of the song. And these 2 parts will go to the third team, to the other country. And this new team will create another ostinato on this music and send it to the fourth team. And so this last team will create a new melody on this whole music. And so it will be a very different thing that the first one. And then it will send it back to the first country. So the first country will receive something new, something other, with many creative things on it. The gains of the project that every teams will learn different folk songs from different countries, but not only this note and the rhythms, but also its characters. This is the more important thing in music, the character of some melody. And recording themselves, it's very difficult because it has to be very good music to be recorded without mistakes on it. So for little children, it's a very good motivation for exercise. And there is the possibility for every team to study the whole music and together give a concert, for example, and presenting the other countries and the cultural heritage of the countries. I can give a little example. I will share my if we have time only.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah?
Go ahead, Ariel.
For including sound screen, and I go there. For example, here there is well-known melody from Hungary, for children.
2, 3, 4.
It is very simple, and at 7 or 8 years old, a children is able to play it. And when this melody will come back to the first country, something like this can come back. Thank you. It was example, and I'm searching for partners and co-founder. If somebody is interesting by this project, my email is the right slide.
Thank you very much. Let me re-upload the presentation. Thank you very much, Ariel, for describing your project idea, and for especially for giving us also an example of the project, because I think that's very helpful for possible partners to see what you're talking about and to see a real example from the activities of the project. I hope you can all see the slide at this point.
I can't see nothing, only you and
the other speakers.
Yeah, we can see the slides.
Perfect.
Yes, Ale.
Perfect. Thank you, Marta. And we are actually at slide 28. Here are the contact details of Ariel. So please feel free to get in touch with her if you are interested in joining her in this project. And again, feel free to use the chat if you want to pose any questions about this project, if there was something that was unclear for you or something that you found particularly interesting.
If somebody knows a piano teacher, if it is possible to send it my email.
Perfect. So Ariel is searching specifically for piano teacher. So if any of them is in the audience, if you know any twinner from this background, you know the projects made for them. And now we can proceed with another project idea for today, entitled The Language of Emotions. Let's make a better world. This project is presented by Zeynep Kol. I hope I correctly pronounced your name, and some colleagues that will present together the project. So I would leave the floor to you, Zeynep.
Hi again, this is Zeynep Çöl from Antalya Dora Schools. I'm supporting my project team. Our project's name is The Language of Our Emotions. Let me tell you about details of our project. In every society, there are rituals that guarantee the continuation of humanity in a humane way, but they are disappearing or on the verge of disappearing, unfortunately. An example of this in our country is Anatolian ritual that is called imece. In this project, we want to introduce and teach such good traditions to our students and implement them practically. We also want to introduce our traditions to our partners of our projects. Sharing makes life more beautiful. If you want to be a part of this exciting project, feel free to contact our project founder, Ayşe Özen Ceyhan, who is also in the meeting. About the details of our project, you can also, if you have any questions, you can ask or you can text to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for
welcome.
presenting this project. I know that also Ayşe is here with us.
Yeah, she's also here with us.
If you want to add anything, Ayşe, of course you can. Otherwise, it's also good. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay.
I think you described the project quite extensively, so our participants now have an idea of what your project talks about, and if they're interested,
yes.
Yeah, and if they're interested, they can reach you at these contact references that you see in these slides and that you will have in the annual theme group.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. And if anybody has questions about the project, The Language of Emotions, now it's the moment. You can pose them and I will read you in the chat. And I'm sure our speakers will be happy to answer. In the meanwhile, I would like to ask, and this is actually a question to all of you, I mean, to all the speakers who presented a project idea. I saw that many projects already cover some key areas related to the annual theme. For example, we talked about developing critical thinking, giving students the tools to read critically the news and fight disinformation. And I would like to ask you how specifically you will implement the annual theme in your project. If you would like to add something related to that, I think it could be useful also to find a suitable partner, because then we can see how the annual theme will be present in your project, how it will be developed. I can come back to the slides of the annual theme. So we have there like the key areas that compose our theme. Again, active citizenship, so being an informed and active citizen, developing critical thinking, and learning about the European Union and its fundamental values. So these are the important dimensions of the annual theme. How will you incorporate the annual theme in your project? If any of you would feel like answering, I think it would be very interesting also for our participants. Anyone? Actually, yeah, I can see you, Nancy. Please go ahead.
Yes, as I explained before, we are trying to mobilize and motivate both, not just teachers and students, but we are following the whole school approach. So we are trying to mobilize the whole school community. In our small local communities, we are trying to mobilize the local communities. As I said earlier, the vehicle are the comics, because everybody loves comics. I mean, it is very difficult to find someone not to like, maybe not like to create comics could be possible, but not to like to read comics, I think that's impossible. Everybody loves comics. So we are using this vehicle in order to be able to attract the attention of the whole school and the community. And then at the co-creation space, we are looking at developing activities through the comics that will enhance active citizenship and will evolve in action in the communities. For example, we were thinking of stories related with the local school council or the municipality board, or maybe a simulation of the European Commission or the European Parliament. And then through the comic stories, then the people might feel the need to duplicate the stories in real life. So this, in terms of the active citizenship part, we hope that we will influence and inspire people to take the comic stories in action in real life. And as regards critical thinking, as I said earlier, we have one module dedicated to fake news. And the basis for tackling fake news is, of course, critical thinking. So there we will present to the participants, to the teachers who will enroll in the MOOC. We will present different strategies in order to develop their critical thinking and be able to tackle the fake news regarding climate change. So that's what we are going to do.
That's quite a lot, Nancy. It's very, very interesting. It really covers all the areas that are dear to the annual theme, and you mentioned some keywords like community, stories, shared values that are really important to incorporate the annual theme in your project. So I think that's great, and I look forward to see how the project evolves and the partner that you will find. I can see in the meanwhile that in the chat they are asking how they could be part of the projects described today, and I remind you that the contact details of each of the teacher who presented the project are in the slides, as you can see at the end of each presentation. For example, the one of Nancy, as you can see, there are also her contact details, how to contact them also through the platforms in some slides. So you can just get in touch with them. And if you didn't note down now, you can always check the presentation on the annual theme group and contact them in that moment. Or you can anyway use the chat now if you would like to, if you're interested in a particular project, in a project in particular. So these are all the ways you can get in touch with the teachers. We hope you will get in touch with the projects you are interested in. And again, the link that Marta has just posted in the chat is the central hub where all these activities that we're talking about are happening, where you can find all the information related to the materials of this webinar and many other tips for projects that we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar. I would like just to ask you if any other teacher would like to share with us how she or he will incorporate the annual theme in her project, if you feel like. Anybody who wants to share something? Actually, also between our participants, if you are running this year a project on the annual theme and you would like to share something about it, you can always post it in the chat. I think it would be very interesting to know which projects idea you are working on and how does it talk about the annual theme, and to see which projects there will be this year. I'm checking the chat just to see if there is any further contribution. I think there are no more questions. Does any of the speaker wants to add anything about their project? Now it's the moment, as we are almost wrapping up the session.
Yeah, I would like, can I?
Of course.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Svetlana.
So just to continue Nancy's idea about disinformation and some fraud, as our project is closely connected of this team, we are also are looking for a co-founder and partner schools who will support us in our project. As for my email, it is, I think that it is on the last slide, as the project Spot and Spot Fraud through folk tales. So feel free, just contact me, write me, and I think that our cooperation will be quite successful. And I must admit that as the theme of the project is nowadays is very relevant. Of course, we should teach our students to think critically and to avoid some disinformation, to take away from fraud. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Svetlana. Indeed, developing critical thinking is at the heart of your project, and it's really powerful and interesting. So anybody who is interested, please get in touch with Svetlana. At this point, yeah, please. Sorry.
And by the way, obviously, I don't know why, but I'm not able just to share my mail in the meeting chat, because it is written that it is only for organizers or something like that. I cannot write here anything. I don't know why.
Don't worry, Svetlana, because now I will go to the slide with your contact details, so everybody can see it here, the contact details of Svetlana, and again, you will have it as of the end of the week on the annual theme group, so you will be able to get in touch with Svetlana. No worries.
Thank you.
Okay, then since it was quite a presentation full of project ideas, for today, we can wrap up here our session and conclude the webinar of today. I thank again our 5 speakers for presenting their project ideas, which were very interesting and which from different angles talk about the new annual theme 2024-2025 citizenship education, celebrating what unites us, and the key pillars that compose the theme. I encourage our participants to get in touch with the teachers if you are interested in any of the project. And I remind you once again that the recording of this session, together with the presentation shared, will be uploaded on the annual theme group, and you have the link as of the next days. So you will find all the materials there. And I encourage you to take part in the campaign, spread the word about our annual theme, and engage with the activities. For example, the newspaper that I showed you at the beginning of the webinar, and many more that are available in the group. So thank again, and I wish you all a nice evening. Oh, sorry, Zeynep, please, if you want to say some final words. I didn't see the hand raised, but please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Actually, Ayşe teacher just wanted me to tell a few more details about the project if we have enough time. Just a few more sentences.
Sure.
Can I? Sure.
Some minutes is fine, yeah.
Sure, thank you. Over the project, the partner teachers in each school will choose a citizenship-related tradition of our country and will introduce and teach it to the students. If there are any items in the local culture that are related to this tradition, such as local games, folklore poems, or folk tales, they are also shared with the students. In the next step, the students write a play about this tradition and play it that is recorded and distributed with English subtitles among all partner schools to make them acquainted with this tradition. Also, as a project-related activity, the students will practically implement the above tradition with the guidance of teachers at the suitable time and place. Finally, from total activities of the partner schools, multimedia software is prepared that explains all the traditions that have been discussed in the project. As they say, sharing makes life more beautiful. We are looking for active partners for this project all over Europe. It is going to be a large school project, and we are thinking of at least 10 partner schools. We welcome every school who wants to experience doing innovative culture projects through distributed teamwork. If you want to be a part of this exciting project, feel free to contact our project founder, Ayşe Özen Ceyhan, who can see her contact information on the screen. Thank you. It's what I wanted to add to our presentation.
Thank you very much, Zeynep, for adding this important information regarding your project. So I thank you all again, and I wish you all a nice evening.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.